You know, it's been a while since I've done something like this. I don't really want to call this a review for Raw, but whatever. I'm just gonna say my thoughts on what happened on Monday night, and I might do the same thing for SmackDown if y'all care to listen. But let's see. A lot of things happen on Raw, but not really important stuff. But stuff happened regardless. Okay. The women at the beginning of the show was the highlight for me. Balor winning his match against Lashley and Mahal was another highlight for me because I actually cared about that. And then Elias getting robbed by a street New Yorker. You know, Black and Ricochet was a highlight for me as well, defeating the Revival again, and Triple H cutting his promo, and that's pretty much it. Roman and McIntyre as well. Everything else was flat, and everything else I didn't care about at all. Like, McIntyre beating Ambrose in the last man standing match to end the show. I mean, they had McIntyre put him through a table, and then Ambrose got up at 9. Claymore kick, down for the count. McIntyre wins. That's it. Raw goes off the air with McIntyre standing tall. They're really pushing this guy really, really hard, and that's actually a good thing. Yeah, Natalya versus Sasha Banks. This match, did it end in a no contest? Because... yeah, winner by disqualification because Jax and Tamina had to stuck their ugly ass noses in the business that has nothing to do with them whatsoever. You know, Beth Phoenix looked great. Beth Phoenix was another highlight, by the way. Beth Phoenix was another highlight. She looked great, taking care of both Jax and Tamina before standing tall as she had her foot on top of the women's tag team titles as Banks was trying to grab the belt. And, like, I'm like, saying, yeah, it's not going to be yours for long. Trust me, at WrestleMania, so. By the way, am I the only one that feels like Charlie Caruso's trying to become, like, a bitch backstage? And I'm not attacking her personally. I mean, like the way that she's coming off where she's asking these questions and trying to stir things around, you know, she sounds like a maniacal mischief bitch. You know, she's trying to take her journalism and like just kicking it up a notch, but like in a way where like it's gonna irritate everybody. I don't know, that's just me. So Monday Night Raw started live. They opened the show, which I fucking hate how they opened the show. How many times do I have to complain about Raw and SmackDown opening the same way? Yes, I could sit here and say to you guys, I hope that after WrestleMania things change, but guess what? Nothing's gonna change. Everything's gonna be the same. And when they do change, they change for a certain amount of time, and then they go right back to their old ways. So, I don't like it. I didn't like it when they did it in 2013. I didn't like it when they did it in 2014. And I didn't like it now, pretty much. Before they used to have an intro, pyro, and then they welcome us to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, respectively. But now, it's literally after the initial intro, you know, dun 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 dun, boom, right? And after that, you have the fade to black, you know, start getting brighter, and it goes into the arena. It starts the show, and then you have Michael Cole, welcome to Monday Night Raw, and then you got the WrestleMania theme song in the background this time, but normally you have like Church of the Power or not even Born for Greatness. Yeah, like Church of the Power playing in the background as well. And I'm just sitting here like, you're telling me that WWE was able to freaking put, you know, intros in the video game, but they don't use it themselves. They actually made a Born for Greatness intro last year when they first debuted the new graphics of Raw, and yet they have yet to freaking use that intro. And then when they did the Superstar Shakeup, that one is in the video game, and they have not used that one either for both Raw and SmackDown. So I don't understand why you can't use your intros. I mean, people really undermine how important intros and pyro and the way how you start off a freaking wrestling show, man. They undermine that. You just think, oh, you just go straight into the show and go straight into the action. You know, that's what's going to get things hyped for Raw. Nah, man, not all the time. Sometimes, yeah, but not all the time. I look at it like this. If you want to start the show straight to right out the gate, straight out the oven type shit, right? Then you got to make it feel important, like, like, oh, like somebody's pissed. Like, they're not going to wait for the intro to the show or the pyro to go off. They're going to go straight to the ring, and then they decide to, go on the air immediately. So, something like that. But, nah. They just start off the show. Cole welcomes us to Raw, and then you got Rousey coming out, and she's just talking her piece, about women main eventing WrestleMania. It's all up to her, blah, blah, blah. It's all about her. She has no idea what a beat the clock challenge is. Sounds like another gimmick, which it is, dumbass. But anyways, and she was ready to compete. She went up against Sarah Logan, able to make her tap within a minute, 25 seconds, and then Charlotte Flair failed to beat Ruby Riott, and then after that you had Lynch able to disarm. Not disarm her. She went for the disarm and got countered, and then she went for the jackknife cover onto Liv Morgan, and was able to get the win with 7 seconds left to spare. And Lynch was able to knock off Rousey's time set, and that's pretty much it. Lynch was able to go on to WrestleMania with momentum on her side, even though that beat the clock challenge was kind of a bit of a ridiculous farce. I mean, that shit went out. That shit was like a good 20 minutes, 15 minutes without no commercial break, I think. No commercial break, so that shit just went by quick, so either way. Then you have Balor facing Mahal and Lashley because, Strowman messed up Leo Rush, so he wouldn't be able to compete. So you got the former, I love how they keep bringing up how he's the former WWE champion, but yet they fail to freaking remember he's a former United States champion too. I understand you forget because that title reign was non-existent. He won the championship and then he lost it to Bobby Roode, I think, and then, although he won it at WrestleMania, then he lost it to Jeff Hardy on the Superstar Shake-Up edition of Raw, or the next week. I can't really remember, but yeah, around that time of last year. So I understand, short title reign, but still, he's not only a former WWE champion, like that's the only belt he's ever held in his career. No, a former United States champion as well. God. Anyways, in the end of the day, Balor able to get the win. He did exactly what happened at Elimination Chamber. He took Mahal to the outside. Then he did the Tope Kohiro over the top onto the outside onto everybody at ringside, and then brought Mahal back in the ring like he did to Leo Rush at the Chamber. Went up top, coup de grace for the win. Able to get the win, and now Balor's going to go on to face Lashley for the IC title at WrestleMania. That's when the Demon might come out to play with the almighty Lashley. Then, Lashley, was like, I ain't taking no L's, man. I'm sick of this shit. And then he just go in and he just beats up the Singh Bros and Mahal with a spear. I'm glad they're letting you Lashley use the freaking spear. Thank you very much. I really thought, so Roman has to be the one that has to use the spear, but yet Lashley can't use the spear. Before, everybody used to use the spear. Edge, Big Show, and then, many other, Batista, and many more. But yet, when Roman Reigns got the spear, nobody can use the spear. Lashley got to use that stupid vertical suplex, where he holds him up for like a good 10 seconds and then plants him down. For God's sakes. But thank God, he's back to doing the spear. Thank you very much. And after that, Balor's the one standing tall as Lashley just pacing around like an animal. Then they got Elias, who I really didn't care about. Every time they mention his fucking name, I'm like, do I care? No. I don't care about you and your guitar. I don't care about you performing at WrestleMania, man. I honestly don't want you to perform at all. You're boring. I don't care about you anymore. Like, you're done. After your feud with Seth, after your face turn, and then you turn heel because you keep getting compared to Jeff Jarrett, I don't care about you no more. I'm done. Just fuck off. Thank you. Shit. After that, we got the Revival coming out. Taking on Aleister Black and Ricochet. The Revival actually got entrances, but it was cut short because the match, or the match didn't start yet. They were fighting. Everybody was fighting in the ring before the match even started. Match started. 2 commercial breaks in this tag team match, and then black match to both men, which was nice to see by Aleister Black. And then the one and only with the 630 on Dash for the dub, and able to get the win. Ricochet and Aleister Black standing tall. McIntyre comes out. He starts jogging at the jaw. You know, he just start talking, you know. And then he started bringing up Roman Reigns. He's like, let me talk to Joe. Not Roman. Joe. Like, yo. Like, I really hope your family, your wife and your family, got it through your thick skull to convince you to turn down the match. Saying that he keeps bringing up how he destroyed the Shield and brags on beating Ambrose and Rollins in the past 2 weeks of Raw. And, you know, he's just basically putting down Roman Reigns the best way he can. Obviously, some people are going to be upset about the fact that he keeps bringing up his leukemia stuff, blah, 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 whatever. And then after that, Big Dog comes out. Of course, Michael Cole got to get it in. I was not even in the mood for Michael Cole to say, you know, here comes the Big Dog. I was just like, whatever. Because normally, I actually warmed up to Cole saying, here comes the Big Dog! You know, like, I got used to it. But then, you know, today I was just not feeling it whatsoever. Like, he just felt like he just had to say it before anything else happened. Roman came out and he's like, look, man, Roman Reigns accept your challenge, but Joe was going to say this. Don't ever mention my wife and family, my wife and my kids, ever again. And he knocks him down, and they both have a brawl. And then after that, Claymore kick. After that, but before the Claymore kick, he hit him with a low blow. After Roman Reigns, I think it was about to put him away once and for all. That's pretty much it. And McIntyre's walking backstage, and guess who's backstage? Freaking Dean Ambrose. And I'm like, dude, you mean to tell me that ass whooping wasn't good enough for you to stay home for the next couple weeks till your contract is up? You're telling me you're back 1 week after getting Claymore kicked off of a stage where your head was freaking in between a railing? Are you serious? And then he's like, call me a cockroach. Well, I don't feel exterminated, so how about one more shot in the last man standing? I'm like, okay, at least it's the last man standing, so he's going to put him away for good on Monday Night Raw. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it on Raw. You had Charlie Caruso interview Angle backstage about his farewell tour, which I don't really give a fuck. And after that, Samoa Joe, talking about Samoa Joe, then Corbin comes through, he starts jacking at the jaw as well, started talking about, you know, it's going to be pathetic headlines for Angle on the day after WrestleMania. And then Angle just says, screw you, and he just walks away. Pretty much. Oh, and then guess what? The worst segment of the night for me, because I just didn't care. There was only one funny moment in this entire segment, and I'm going to bring it up as we talk about it. Before we get to that, yeah, Corbin beats Cruz, end of days, 1, 2, 3. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to get to that worst segment, like, literally in about a couple of minutes. But I'm going to get to this real quick. Seth Rollins comes out. And what does he do? He cuts another promo about him and Brock Lesnar, how they are different. You know? Like, Rollins talks about guys like Michaels and The Hart and Flair and Triple H and Cena inspire people, but Lesnar does not, blah, 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 blah. And then after that, he plans on going to Suplex City. He says that him and the fans will march together and go to Suplex City and burn it down. And then Paul Heyman comes out and was like, oh, wait a minute, Mo. Hold on a second now. Hold on a second. Okay. And then he starts going off about Brock Lesnar. Like, you could tell how excited, you could tell how I care about Monday Night Raw tonight. I'm tired, honestly. I am a bit sleepy. I could be more excited. I can, but I'm not going to force it. Because if I do, then you guys will know I'm bullshit. And you guys will know I'm fucking forcing it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be myself. And I'm just going to be chill. And just tell you what's going on, what happened on Raw, if you missed it. If you missed Raw, which I'm sure you didn't, but if you did, good, because nothing much happened, pretty much. Heyman came out, and then he just goes on and on and on. Like, he said things I can't really repeat, because if I say it, it's not gonna do it justice. So if I were you, I would look it up on YouTube, and you would find what Heyman said, and you pretty much, it was a good promo from Heyman, saying that, you know, like, Rollins is gonna go to Suplex City, get F5, be victimized, hurt, you know, all that stuff, and then that's pretty much it, right? And then Rollins chased him up to the ramp, and then Heyman was like, "Oh shit!" He got scared, and then Heyman was like begging for mercy, like, "I'm just an advocate." Here's the thing: if I'm ever in a freaking feud with Brock Lesnar, my problem is not with Paul Heyman. As much as Paul Heyman is good at riling you up, he's good at riling you up and getting you frustrated, making you think about yourself, making you doubt yourself. Maybe he's good at that shit, but I would never ever try to put my hands on Heyman, not because I like him or respect him, it's because he's not the fucking target. The target is Brock Lesnar. Attacking Heyman is not gonna anger Brock Lesnar. We've seen that before. Samoa Joe tried that. That didn't work. So obviously, going after Heyman is just a waste of energy and time. Brock Lesnar is the main culprit in this situation. So when Brock shows up, that's when you strike. So I'm surprised Seth didn't do that last week on Raw. Why didn't Seth come from behind and attack Brock Lesnar out of nowhere? If he was able to do that to fucking Drew McIntyre, why couldn't he do that to Brock Lesnar? Just saying. Anyways, he came up to him, and he's like, "See, Heyman, you got it all wrong. It wasn't asking for thoughts and prayers. I was here to answer them. Because we're going to go to WrestleMania, I'm going to beat Brock Lesnar, we're going to take the Universal title, and then march into Suplex City to..." And then he pushes it to the crowd, burn it down, and drops the mic on Heyman, and that's it. So, yeah. You see, this feud really sucks. Like, the build for it sucks, but I really hope the match is great. That's all I hope for, okay? Even though WrestleMania is going to be a long-ass show, I do plan on doing a reaction for it. I'm not going to lie, but I don't know. We'll see. Angle versus Joe. Angle beats Joe with a unique version of a pin. Able to take him down. Able to counter the Coquina clutch. Able to turn it around into a pinning situation. And then was able to get the win, pretty much. Because I don't want to go over this match, because this match sucked. Samoa Joe was a bit... I don't want to say it's Joe. It's most likely fucking Angle. It's Angle more than Joe. Like, Joe, we've seen Joe at his peak. We've seen Joe. Even now, he's still good. He's still great. So it's not really Joe's problem. It's fucking Angle. He's so hard to watch in that fucking ring. God, he's so slow. It's like, are you sure you want to go through this? And then you're facing AJ Styles tomorrow? Are you on crack, fam? Like, for real. You're facing AJ Styles. I'm just saying. The only way AJ Styles should lose this match if Randy Orton gets involved. That's the only way he should lose. Because no way Angle's just going to walk into SmackDown Live, beat him clean, and then that's it. No. Randy Orton has to get involved in this match, and then, you know, Angle takes advantage and gets the win over AJ Styles. That's the only way I can see this. Now let's get to the main part of this whole shit. The worst segment of the night. So, you got Alexa Bliss coming out. Okay? You got Alexa Bliss coming out. And after that, you know, she's bragging about how she's the host of WrestleMania. How the show's getting better. How the women main eventing WrestleMania for the first time. Blah, 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 blah. And after that, she's going through what happened with Braun Strowman and the SNL stars, you know, Chi and Colin. And then after that, she brings Braun out, calls it a public relations disaster. I guess if anything got out of hand, and then she's hoping that Braun Strowman is willing to freaking talk about it and deal with the situation the right way. And then, well, you know, Braun Strowman is really, really a walking boredom. Like, I swear to God, like, Braun Strowman, like, I met one guy called him Yawn Strowman, and that is so fucking true. It's not even funny, okay? Yawn Strowman, that should be his fucking name, because when I see Braun, I don't even put my hands up in the air and be like, Braun! I don't do that anymore. I just don't. I literally just sit there like, yeah, I used to like you. Now you're just boring. Whew, it's like 2015 all over again. Who are you? Oh, Braun Strowman, a tall guy. Can you do anything in the ring besides destroying shit? Oh, no, you can't? Oh, well. Anyways, so she come out, and after that, they put him on, what do you call it? Damn it, I forgot. So, via satellite. There we go. They put it on via satellite of Michael Chi and then the other dude, right? Colin. That dude, right? I think, is it Colin? Or is it Michael Chi with the one who was wearing the New York Yankee hat, which was funny to me. That was like the best part of this entire segment, was him putting on the Yankee hat, because I know about the history. I don't know about it exactly, but at least I recognize the like, there's a problem between the Yankees and the Red Sox, Boston and New York. So there's that. Anyways, Braun Strowman pretty much says, look, we can do this, we can figure this out, physically, financially, or physically, or emotionally, financially, physically. So Braun decides to pick physically, and he challenged the guy with the Yankee hat on, saying, yo, how about you being Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale? And then, the black dude was like, yeah, he'll do it. Yeah, you be in the match. You got yourself a deal. And then the Yankee hat guy was like, yo, if I'm in this shit, you in this shit too, fam. Like, it ain't just gonna be me. And then, Braun's like, look, shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Like, we're gonna settle this at WrestleMania. And he's like, yo, Bliss, can you make this happen? Bliss is like, see, Braun, of course I can make this happen. And then she made it official that it's going to happen, that those guys are going to be in the Battle Royale. Yay! 2 non-wrestlers in the Battle Royale. That's what I want to see at WrestleMania. The question is the Battle Royale on the main show, or is it on the kickoff show? It should be on the fucking kickoff show. It should not be on the WrestleMania main card show. But then again, WrestleMania is going to be a long-ass show anyway. It's probably going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and then it'll go all the way up to fucking midnight. Fuck off, WWE. Fuck off. And then Triple H, pretty much burying Batista. He quits and quits and quits. Getting a letter from Batista's lawyer saying that he has to put his career on the line, or this match will not happen. And then Triple H brings up how Batista couldn't beat John Cena in 2010, so he quit. Or when Batista couldn't win, he didn't really bring up the World Championship situation in 2014, but yet then he quit, saying that you had to beat up a guy who was pretty much on his deathbed 1 year ago, in Ric Flair, a 7-year-old guy, and now, this is just another attempt of Batista quitting, and he said this time, nah, you're not gonna quit. You see, I've never been obsessed, and then Triple H also brings up the fact that, well, Batista's now realizing that Triple H used Evolution for backup for him to keep the World Championship around his waist. I mean, fam, if the fans knew that, why the fuck how do you not know that yourself? I mean, bruh, come on now. Anyways, so Triple H said the only thing he's obsessed with is beating up Batista at WrestleMania. He's saying if he can't be a self-deluded douchebag, which they did not censor, like Batista, then he has no business inside the ring anyway, and he agrees to put his career on the line. The last time Triple H put his career on the line was against Brock Lesnar in 2013 in MetLife Stadium. Oh! And now he's doing it again in 2019. Oh, is Triple H gonna lose his in-ring career? Maybe. But is he? No. And if he does, will it matter? No, because in the end of the day, we're all gonna forget, because WWE thinks we have amnesia. We forget. You know, like, Mick Foley is supposed to retire after February 2000 at No Way Out. And then he's at WrestleMania 2000 1 month later. And then he's wrestling on these other matches either later on the year or the next year. And then wrestling at freaking WrestleManias and backlashes against Randy Orton. And then matches against Ric Flair. Even though he's supposed to be retired for all these goddamn years. But don't really matter. Retirement don't mean shit. Shawn Michaels said he ain't never coming back. Nope, never. And then, oh, Crown Jewel? How much money? Oh. Fuck. Oh, well. I'll fucking get my wrestling boots. Honey, I'm going to wrestle again. And then he comes back and wrestles. He's like, I ain't doing this shit no more. Y'all got me to do one match. I ain't doing this shit no more. I'm done. Pretty much, so. And that's Monday Night Raw for you. It sucked. It was boring. Boston crowd was decent, but not good enough for me to enjoy the show. And that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this, whatever you want to call it, review, discussion, ranting, I don't know. This show really sucks, and I just don't care. Now, if you guys have not checked out my Monday Night Raw Universe mode, I'm sure which will be a lot better than tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw or yesterday's episode of Monday Night Raw, then please go check that shit out, please. Had Elimination Chamber qualifying matches for both men and women, and you had the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne in action. You also had the Cruiserweight #1 Contenders match, and finally you had a United States Championship main event match, which was great. So please check that out. Also, there will be a returning episode of Universe Mode coming on, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday this week. So keep that in mind. Hope you guys enjoy this, whatever you want to call it. And I'll see you guys next time.